Hello children, hope all of us are well. The topic for today is components of food, and the key elements in this chapter are need of different food items, components of food, balanced diet, malnutrition, how does cooking affect food, diseases and disabilities due to food deficiency and maintaining good health. अब हमें अलग अलग किस्म का खाना क्यों चाहिए, खाने के ऐसे कौन से कंपोनेंट्स हैं जिन्हें कि हम न्यूट्रिएंट्स कहते हैं जो हमारे लिए ज़रूरी हैं, फिर एक बैलेंस डाइट क्या होती है जिसमें कि हमें ये सारे कंपोनेंट्स मिल जाएं। अगर हमें बैलेंस डाइट ना मिले तो जो बॉडी में वीकनेस आती है या जिसको कि हम माल न्यूट्रिशन कहते हैं वो क्या है, उनसे कौन सी बीमारियां होती हैं और कुकिंग से खाने पे क्या असर पड़ता है, या फिर किसी खाने की डेफिशिएंसी या कमी से क्या बीमारियां होती हैं और हम अपनी हेल्थ को कैसे अच्छा रख सकते हैं, ये सारी चीज़ें हम इस चैप्टर में पढ़ेंगे। अब हमें सबसे पहले जानना ये ज़रूरी है कि अलग अलग किस्म के खाने क्यों ज़रूरी हैं। एक किस्म के खाने में सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स या जिसे हम पौष्टिक तत्व कहते हैं वो नहीं मिलते, तो वो सारे पौष्टिक तत्व हमें मिल सकें इसलिए हमें अलग अलग चीज़ें खानी पड़ती हैं। तो आइए इसके बारे में जानें कि हमें क्यों अलग किस्म के खाने चाहिए। Now in the previous chapter we have studied that we eat different types of food items. Some of us are vegetarian while others are non-vegetarian. Even we cannot stick on one type of vegetarian or non-vegetarian diet. Some day our meal consists of dal, chapati, sabzi, curry, while on the other day it might be rice with some other curry. So it is important to intake different meals to fulfill all the requirements of nutrients needed by our body. The energy of food is measured in calorie or kilocalorie. The modern unit of energy is joule, but food scientists are still using calorie. Now there is a very interesting activity for all of us here. Now what we can do is make a list with the name of students and what they had for breakfast, lunch and dinner the previous day and the day before that. Now this will give us an idea that we eat different kinds of food, and why do we need these different kinds of food is what we will understand now. Now for leading a healthy life, it is essential to take some very important substances in our diet. These substances which provide nourishment essential for growth and the maintenance of our body are called nutrients. सब फूड आइटम्स में अलग अलग न्यूट्रिएंट्स होते हैं जो हमारी बॉडी को चाहिए। अगर हम कोई भी एसेंशियल न्यूट्रिएंट्स को ओवर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम नहीं लेते तो हमारी बॉडी में वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ डिजीजेस आ जाते हैं या फिर एनर्जी प्रॉपर नहीं रहती एंड वी फील टायर्ड। इसलिए it is important that all of us eat different types of food so that different nutrients can be gained by our body. अब ये अलग अलग न्यूट्रिएंट्स क्या है जो हमें चाहिए। हर खाने में या किसी भी मील में हमें जो चीज़ें बहुत ही ज़रूरी हैं अपनी अच्छी हेल्थ मेंटेन करने के लिए वो क्या हैं? कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, फैट्स, प्रोटीन्स, मिनरल्स, पानी और अलग अलग तरह के विटामिन्स। सो उसके लिए लेट अस नो द कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ फूड। नाउ देयर आर 6 essential nutrients that are needed and these are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals, water and vitamins. Apart from these 6 nutrients, roughage is another important element. All these nutrients are used either as energy source or for the growth and maintenance of body parts. So the study of the role of different components of diet of living organisms is called the science of nutrition. और यही एनर्जी हमें काम करने में हेल्प करती है। अब कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स दो तरह के होते हैं, सिंपल कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स और कॉम्प्लेक्स कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स। जनरली शुगर या स्टार्च के फॉर्म में होते हैं, तो जो शुगर है उसको हम कहते हैं सिंपल कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स और जो स्टार्च है उसको हम कहते हैं कॉम्प्लेक्स कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स। ये भी जानना ज़रूरी है कि जो सिंपल कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स हैं वो हमें ज़्यादातर नेचुरल चीज़ों से, जैसे कि जो सब्जी और फ्रूट हम रॉ फॉर्म में खाते हैं, कच्चे फॉर्म में खाते हैं, उससे मिलती है। अब इसका फ़ायदा ये है कि इनका जो ब्रेकडाउन है बॉडी के अंदर वो बड़ा धीरे धीरे होता है, तो ओवर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ये एनर्जी रिलीज करके हमें एनर्जी देते हैं। लेकिन जो कॉम्प्लेक्स कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स हैं, जिनमें कि स्टार्च वाली कैटेगरीज आती हैं और ये ज़्यादातर कुक्ड फॉर्म में हमें मिलते हैं, ये जो हैं ये बड़ी जल्दी इनका ब्रेकडाउन होता है और एकदम से बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी रिलीज करते हैं। जब ये बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी रिलीज करते हैं और वो सारी एनर्जी अगर हमारी बॉडी यूटिलाइज नहीं कर पाती, तो क्या होता है, अलग अलग हिस्सों में फैट डिपॉजिट हो जाता है। और क्या बैड कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स हैं, ये भी जानना ज़रूरी है। अब सबसे पहले लेट अस लुक एट दी कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स। देयर आर मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स। The main carbohydrates found in our food are in the form of starch and sugar. Carbohydrates are one of the major kinds of nutrients needed by all the living organisms. And all the carbohydrates are the combination of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Sugar is the simplest carbohydrate. Another form of the carbohydrate is starch. Now, starch is more complex than sugar. In fact, these are made up of many sugar molecules. Hence, a starch molecule contains more energy than a sugar has. Starch is the most important carbohydrate in human diet and is present in many staple foods. The major sources of starch are rice, wheat, maize, potatoes, etc. And widely used food items containing starch are bread, pasta, porridge, cereals, noodles, pancakes, etc. Let us now look at the importance of carbohydrates in our diet. Now, carbohydrates give enormous amount of energy to our body for carrying out daily activities. They also add flavor to our food, and they are important for the correct working of our brain, heart, digestive and nervous system. अब जो कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स हैं वो दो तरह के हैं, गुड एंड बैड कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स। गुड कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स आर द फूड आइटम्स विच गिव एनर्जी ओवर लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. So all those food items that are still in their natural state or similar to their natural state are good carbohydrates. In fact, good carbohydrates are complex molecules which break down slowly, releasing constant amount of energy over a longer period of time. Food items like whole grains, beans, fruits, vegetables, milk, etc. are sources of good carbohydrates. On the other hand, bad carbohydrates are simple sugar molecules. They break down quickly, releasing a lot of energy. That much energy cannot be used by the body and gets converted into extra fat deposited on body parts. So food items which are made up of sugars and refined flour like cakes, pastries, chips, white bread, white rice, all kinds of soft drinks, etc. are sources of bad carbohydrates. If you consume too many bad carbohydrates, you will probably gain weight and become obese. So health problems like diabetes, heart attack, etc. are a result of obesity. Hence, be careful while intaking carbohydrates. Now, here is a simple activity to find out the presence of carbohydrates in any food item. आप किसी भी food item के ऊपर कुछ drops iodine solution की डालेंगे. अगर उससे आपका वो फूड पार्ट ब्लू हो जाता है, देन इट शोज द प्रेजेंस ऑफ कार्बोहाइड्रेट. कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स की ही तरह जो फैट्स होते हैं खाने में, वो भी हमें एनर्जी देते हैं. लेकिन कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स के जैसे इनको बहुत ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में खाने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती. ये थोड़ी क्वांटिटी में अगर खाएं तो वो हमारी हेल्थ के लिए बहुत अच्छे हैं. साथ साथ जैसे ये हमें एनर्जी देते हैं, वैसे ही ये जो फैट्स हैं ये हमें कोल्ड से भी बचाते हैं. जब मौसम बहुत सर्द होता है तब ठंड से बचाने का काम भी करते हैं. फिर ये फैट्स क्या करते हैं कि जो हमारे बॉडी के अंदर बड़े डेलिकेट से ऑर्गन्स हैं, उनको इंजरी से या नुकसान होने से भी बचाते हैं. ये फैट्स एक काम और भी करते हैं. जो फैट सॉल्युबल विटामिन्स हैं ना, उनको हमारी बॉडी के अंदर अलग अलग जगह पे ट्रांसपोर्ट करने का काम भी करते हैं. इसके अलावा ये तो हम सभी जानते हैं कि खाने में अगर फैट हो, चाहे घी या तेल के फॉर्म में, वो खाने का टेस्ट बढ़ा देता है. लेट अस नाउ कम टू फैट्स. Fats are the source of more energy. Like carbohydrates, fats act as fuels in our body, but they provide more energy than carbohydrates. The amounts of fats we need depends upon our age and physical labor. Laborers and sportspersons use up a lot of energy on physical activity than the people working in offices. Hence, they need more fats and carbohydrates. So, importance of fats in our diet. Fats are concentrated sources of energy, that is, a little amount of fat gives more energy. Fats provide us an insulation against cold. Fats protect our delicate organs from being injured. Fats carry essential fatty acids and fat-soluble vitamins inside the body. And fats add flavor and taste to food. So, foods like butter, ghee, groundnut oil, soybean oil and mustard oil are the sources of fats. These sources have visible fats, but food items like meat, fish, eggs and all types of nuts also contain fats. In many processed food items like chips, snacks, etc., fat is also present as a main ingredient. Our body has some advantages of fat deposits in small quantity. That is, it helps to cushion our delicate body organs. It also prevents heat loss from the body surface. But too much of fat deposition is harmful to the body and causes obesity. Now, here's an activity to test the presence of fat. If you spread a drop of oil or some amount of butter on the paper and you let it dry, then you hold it in front of a source of light. Now, what you will observe is that it has become translucent. Now, this shows the presence of fat in these items. और जो तीसरा इम्पॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट है ना हमारे खाने का, वो है प्रोटीन्स. ये जो प्रोटीन्स है ना, इनको बॉडी बिल्डिंग इंग्रेडिएंट भी कहते हैं, क्योंकि ये हमारी बॉडी की ग्रोथ, जिसमें कि हमारे सेल और मसल्स की ग्रोथ चाहिए, उसमें हमें हेल्प करते हैं. फिर उसके अलावा जो हमारे बॉडी के अंदर जो ब्लड है, उसके अंदर एक प्रोटीन होता है इम्पॉर्टेंट, जिसे हम कहते हैं हीमोग्लोबिन. अगर वो कम हो जाए तो वैसे ही लोगों में वीकनेस होगी. तो अगर बॉडी को स्ट्रेंथ चाहिए, प्रॉपर ग्रोथ चाहिए, तो क्या जरूरी है? प्रोटीन्स. नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट इज प्रोटीन्स. Every cell in the human body contains protein. For digesting carbohydrates, our body requires a particular type of substance called enzymes. These enzymes belong to a class of substances called proteins. Hence, proteins synthesize enzymes which help in the process of digestion. Our body muscles are made up of proteins. Skin, hair and nails are also proteins. Blood also contains a special protein which is called hemoglobin that carries oxygen that we breathe from the air to the various organs of our body. Now, what is the importance of proteins in our diet? Proteins build new tissues as well as help to maintain tissues. Hence, it helps in growth. It helps in making hormones and some vitamins. It is also important for growth and development during childhood, adolescence and pregnancy. When energy requirement of our body does not fulfill from carbohydrates and fats, proteins are used for energy. Foods like meat, fish, eggs, milk, soybean and all the pulses are rich in proteins. Some proteins are essential in our daily food because the body has little amount of stored protein. Excess proteins are either broken down or excreted as urea. Animal proteins are considered better than plant proteins as they are more completely digested by the body. Now, here's a simple activity to test for proteins. For this, you need raw eggs or any other protein sample. Then biuret solution, which is a mixture of copper sulfate and potassium hydroxide, and a test tube. So, take egg and water in a test tube Add an equal amount of biuret solution. Now, if a purple and violet color appears in the test tube, this confirms the presence of protein in the given sample. Now, proteins contain carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen and sometimes sulfur. प्रोटीन इज अ बॉडी बिल्डिंग न्यूट्रिएंट. प्रोटीन्स के अलावा अब जो नेक्स्ट कंपोनेंट है वो है मिनरल्स, जैसे कि सोडियम, पोटेशियम, कैल्शियम. ये इतने सारे मिनरल्स जो हैं ये भी हमारी बॉडी को चाहिए, हालांकि बहुत कम क्वांटिटी में चाहिए. अब ये क्यों ज़रूरी है? क्योंकि जो हमारे अंदर के ऑर्गन्स हैं वो प्रॉपरली डेवलप हों, प्रॉपरली फंक्शन करें और हमारी हेल्थ अच्छी मेंटेन हो, उसके लिए मिनरल्स बहुत ज़रूरी हैं. नेक्स्ट ऑन द लिस्ट ऑफ कंपोनेंट्स आर मिनरल्स. Now, besides the above substances, our body needs small quantities of some elements such as sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, chlorine, iron, fluorine, sulfur, phosphorus and iodine. These elements are called minerals. They are required in very small quantities, but each one is essential for building organs and good health. Now, the importance of minerals in our diet can be seen in this table. So, you have calcium, which is required for bone and teeth formation, for blood clotting and muscle activity. Sources are milk, vegetables, cheese, flour, meat, eggs, fish, and its deficiency causes brittle bones, excessive bleeding and bad muscle movement. Then we have phosphorus, required for bone and teeth formation, energy transfer, nucleic acid formation. And good sources are fish, egg, meat, milk, cheese, potatoes and bread. In case of deficiency, one has weak bones and teeth and body weakness. Then we have potassium, which regulates heart function and reduces blood pressure. It is found in beef, egg, milk, cheese and potatoes, and its deficiency causes risk of heart disease, general feeling of fatigue and muscle tiredness. Next, you have sodium. It helps to maintain body water distribution and it also maintains blood pressure. Found in salt, cheese, bread and butter. Deficiency leads to dehydration and extreme weakness. Next, you have magnesium. It is needed for energy transfer, muscle, bone and teeth formation. It is found in cheese and green vegetables. Deficiency leads to reduced activity of muscles and nerves and also causes weakness. Next, you have iron. It helps in hemoglobin formation and enzyme activity. Found in bread, meat, liver, eggs, green vegetables. And deficiency causes anemia and extreme tiredness and weakness. Then you have iodine. It regulates thyroid gland function and regulates metabolism. It is found in seafood and salt, and deficiency leads to goiter, abnormal metabolism and low mental growth. Next, you have fluorine. It helps in bone and teeth formation. It is found in seafood and tea, and deficiency leads to tooth decay and weakness in bones. अब carbohydrates, proteins, minerals, इनके अलावा क्या ज़रूरी है? पानी. पानी अगर हमारी बॉडी में कम हो जाए तो डिहाइड्रेशन हो जाती है. आपने कभी सोचा है कि बॉडी का 70% वेट तो पानी से ही है. अब ये जो पानी है ये सारे मिनरल्स, विटामिन्स, फैट्स, इन सबको बॉडी के अलग अलग हिस्सों में ट्रांसपोर्ट या पहुंचाने का काम करते हैं. तो अगर पानी कम हो तो ये वाली मूवमेंट कम हो जाएगी. दूसरी चीज़, हमारी बॉडी में जितना हमने खाना खाया कुछ तो हमारी बॉडी के अंदर एसिमिलेट हो गया, यूज़ हो गया, लेकिन जो वेस्ट है उसको कैसे बाहर निकालेंगे? उसको अगर बाहर नहीं निकालेंगे तो बॉडी में फिर बड़ी सारी बीमारियां आ जाएंगी. तो उनको निकालने के लिए भी पानी चाहिए. तो दिन में कम से कम 8 से 10 ग्लास पानी तो सबको पीना बहुत ज़रूरी है. नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट इज वाटर. A person can live without food for several weeks, but would die in a few days from lack of water. 60 to 70% of our body weight is due to the presence of water. Water is a means of transporting substances in the organisms. Vegetables, fruits, animals and plants contain high percentage of water. We should drink lot of pure water to remove waste and toxins from our body. We should drink at least 8 to 10 glasses of water every day. Let us now look at the importance of water in our diet. It helps to regulate the body temperature. It helps our body to absorb nutrients from food. It helps in the excretion of waste products from the body in the form of urine and sweat. It is a medium for most of the reactions occurring in the body. Now to test for water, you require food samples, petri dish, a balance, a weight box. Now take equal weights of the two samples in separate dishes. Keep these dishes in an oven at 30 to 90 degrees Celsius or in sunlight for a few days. Now weigh the food samples again. You will find that there is a reduction in the weight of these two samples because of loss of water. अब जो next component ज़रूरी है खाने में वो हैं vitamins. अब vitamins क्या करते हैं? Vitamins हमारी immunity बढ़ाते हैं और immunity बढ़ाते हैं तो हमें diseases को fight करने में मदद करते हैं. इसलिए vitamins बहुत ज़रूरी हैं. अब ये vitamins कहाँ से मिलते हैं? अलग अलग टाइप के फल और सब्जियों से. Now the next component are vitamins. For proper growth and maintaining good health, all types of vitamins are required by our body. Different vitamins have been named as A, B, C, D, E and K. Each type of vitamin is very specific in its function. Vitamins are required in very minute quantities by our body. Now in this activity, to test for vitamins, you require lemon juice, indophenol, which is a blue colored substance, and a test tube. Now fill about 1/3 of the test tube with indophenol. Add a few drops of lemon juice and shake the test tube. Now the blue color of indophenol gets disappeared, showing the presence of vitamin C in lemon juice. Now let us look at the importance of vitamins in our diet through this table. So vitamin A sources are milk, butter, cheese, tomatoes, carrot, cod liver oil, yellow fruits. And the functions are, it keeps the skin healthy and maintains good eyesight. In case of the deficiency of vitamin A, it leads to night blindness. Then we have vitamin B, found in milk, egg, cheese, meat, liver, husk of cereals and pulses. It helps in proper functioning of nerves, and its deficiency leads to beriberi, nervousness, loss of appetite and also paralysis. Then we have vitamin C, found in citrus fruits like orange, lemon, lime, green vegetables and tomatoes. It keeps blood vessels healthy and heals cuts and injuries. Deficiency leads to scurvy, which is bleeding of gums and swelling of joints. Then we have vitamin D, found in milk, yolk of eggs, liver, fish oil and sunlight. It makes our bones strong and keeps the teeth healthy. Its deficiency leads to rickets, which is decaying teeth and weak bones. Next we have vitamin E, which is found in vegetable oil, milk, butter, whole grains and vegetables. It keeps the skin healthy and deficiency leads to difficulty in walking. Next we have vitamin K, found in green leafy vegetables like spinach and cabbage. They help in clotting blood, and its deficiency leads to hemorrhagic diseases. It is a condition resulting in massive difficulty to control bleeding. Now, an important fact here is that hypervitaminosis is mostly caused by fat-soluble vitamins. Excess of vitamin A causes liver disorders, while excess of vitamin D causes formation of stones in the kidney. A lot of vitamins in fruits and vegetables are lost by heat, light and exposure to air before reaching your plate. खाने की एक जो सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ है वो है रफेज. ये रफेज अगर हमारी बॉडी में नहीं हो तो जितना वेस्ट मटेरियल है उसको निकालने में हमें हेल्प ही नहीं मिलेगी। इसलिए रफेज बहुत ज़रूरी है। और ये रफेज कहाँ से मिलती है? ज़्यादातर सब्जी फलों से और जो होल ग्रेन से खाने बनते हैं ना, जैसे आटा वगैरह, उनसे। नाउ वी कम टू रफेज। रफेज इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड फाइबर. It is an essential part of every healthy diet. In fact, it is undigested part of carbohydrates. It retains water and improves intestinal function by adding bulk to food. It is a definite necessity for proper digestion and bowel movements. Most vegetables, fruits and whole grains provide roughage in our food. Cellulose, referred to as fiber or roughage, swells up in the intestine by absorbing water. It thus adds bulk to the feces and keeps it soft. This ensures the smooth movement of waste through the rectum and prevents constipation. Now, what is the importance of roughage in our diet? It prevents constipation and ensures proper bowel movements. It provides the bulk on which the muscles of the intestines can act. This helps our body to get rid of undigested food. It helps in retaining water. It reduces excess of acidity in the stomach. बॉडी की प्रॉपर हेल्थ मेंटेन करने के लिए एक बैलेंस डाइट होनी बहुत ज़रूरी है। हम सब सुनते हैं, लेकिन बैलेंस डाइट है क्या? बैलेंस डाइट वो है जिसमें कि कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, फैट्स, प्रोटीन्स, मिनरल्स, विटामिन्स, ये सारी चीज़ें हमें रिक्वायर्ड अमाउंट में खाने में मिलें। अगर ये नहीं मिलेंगी तो बॉडी में कुछ ना कुछ कमी रह जाएगी। उस कमी को कहते हैं मालन्यूट्रिशन। और मालन्यूट्रिशन होने से अलग अलग किस्म की बीमारियां हो सकती हैं। नाउ वी कम टू व्हाट इज अ बैलेंस्ड डाइट. So a diet which fulfills all the requirements of nutrients of our body is a balanced diet. To stay healthy, it is important to take all the necessary nutrients, and so far we have studied the importance of nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals, vitamins, etc. No single food item supplies these essential nutrients in the adequate amount. So a balanced diet consists energy giving foods in the form of carbohydrates and fats, bodybuilding foods in the form of proteins, protective foods in the form of vitamins and minerals. Hence, in our daily diet, all of these food must be included in a definite proportion. Along with these nutrients, water is also important, but do not be careless with water. Though it is easily available, the drinking water must be free from soluble and insoluble impurities, germs and bacteria. So many diseases like jaundice, cholera, diarrhea, diphtheria, hepatitis are generated by drinking impure water. Now let us understand what is malnutrition. If a person does not get adequate food or his diet does not contain all the nutrients, then that person becomes weak. Hence, when the body does not get adequate nutrition, it is said to be suffering from malnutrition. Malnutrition essentially means bad nourishment, and in all its forms, it increases the risk of disease and early death. Children are more prone to malnutrition than adults. Sometimes a child gets enough food to eat, but the food does not contain all the nutrition or it is unhygienic, then also he suffers from malnutrition. The only remedy for malnutrition is to take a balanced and hygienic diet. If dal, rice, roti, green vegetables and a bit of jaggery are eaten regularly and in enough quantity, they will provide all the nourishment that the body requires. In addition, if we eat beans, tomatoes, carrot, guava, cucumber, lemon, ripe papaya, amla, etc., our body will also get the essential vitamins, minerals, water and roughage that it needs. अब जैसे कि पहले भी हमने ये चीज़ पढ़ी थी कि खाने को कुक करना बड़ा ज़रूरी है। कुक करने से सबसे पहले तो जो खाने के अंदर कुछ भी जर्म्स, बैक्टीरिया हैं वो मर जाते हैं। दूसरी चीज़, हमारी जो बॉडी है हर किस्म के रॉ फूड को डाइजेस्ट नहीं कर सकती। तो फूड को या खाने को सॉफ्ट बनाने के लिए, टेस्टी बनाने के लिए और जिससे कि हम उसे इजीली डाइजेस्ट कर सकें, उसके लिए कुकिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है। नाउ हाउ डज कुकिंग अफेक्ट फूड? Most fruits and some vegetables such as carrot, radish, onion, turnip and lettuce can be eaten raw because our body can digest them. But grains such as rice, wheat or maize as well as vegetables such as potato, brinjal, pumpkin, pulses and beans cannot be eaten raw because they cannot be digested. So cooking makes food soft, tasty and easily digestible. But on the other hand, overcooking or cooking processes like deep frying and roasting destroy some nutrients and vitamins such as vitamin C and others. Similarly, oily and spicy food may be tasty but are not nutritive. Hence, cooking should be done in such a way so that it can save all the nutritive properties of the food items. For example, after boiling vegetables, the remaining water should not be thrown away because it contains soluble proteins and minerals of the boiled vegetables. अब हमारे बॉडी के अंदर के जो ऑर्गन्स हैं, अगर वो ढंग से काम ना करें तो ऐसी स्टेट को हम क्या कहते हैं? बीमारी, यानी कि कोई ना कोई डिजीज। अब ज़रूरी नहीं है कि बीमारी हम बाहर से ही कैच करें। बड़ी बार ऐसा होता है कि हमारे खाने में अगर किसी भी न्यूट्रिएंट की डेफिशिएंसी ज़्यादा टाइम तक हो तो उसके वजह से भी हमें बीमारियां लग सकती हैं। ऐसी बीमारियों को कहते हैं नॉन कम्युनिकेबल, क्योंकि ये एक इंसान से दूसरे इंसान में ट्रांसमिट नहीं होती। ये होती हैं क्योंकि हमारे अंदर किसी ना किसी न्यूट्रिएंट की कमी होती है। तो चलिए पढ़ते हैं कौन से न्यूट्रिएंट्स की कमी से कौन सी बीमारियां हो सकती हैं। नाउ लेट अस लुक एट डिजीजेस and disabilities due to food deficiencies. Disturbance in the normal structure or functioning of an organ is called a disease. Some diseases are easily curable, while some are very acute and take time to cure or sometimes cannot be cured and become reasons of early death. The diseases that are caused by the deficiency of essential nutrients are called deficiency diseases, and they are non-communicable because they do not transfer from one person to another. So let us look at deficiency diseases caused by insufficient intake of nutrients. So first we will look at the carbohydrate deficiency. A 6th class student like you needs about 2200 to 2500 calories daily. Much of these calories come from the carbohydrates that you eat. For this need, you should eat about 320 grams of cereals per day. Other cereals besides rice and wheat also contain much carbohydrates. Some of these are pearl millet, finger millet and maize. Many families in the villages and even in cities often eat these cereals in their meals. This is an excellent practice because these cereals have as many carbohydrates as rice or wheat. They also have more proteins, minerals and fibers in them than rice has. So whatever your meal preferences may be, you must consume enough carbohydrates to give you adequate calories. A diet that gives less than 2200 calories a day is deficient in carbohydrates. Such a deficient diet will lead to weakness in the body and loss of stamina. Let us now look at protein deficiency. A diet that does not have enough of protein will lead to malnutrition. Protein calorie malnutrition is also called protein energy malnutrition. Insufficient amount of protein in diet causes a disease called kwashiorkor. This disease affects children living in poverty in tropical and subtropical parts of the world. And it stops growth and causes children to have bloated bellies and thin arms and legs. It may also cause change in texture and color of skin and hair. It is fatal unless the patient is given protein along with food with calories. If the diet is specially low in calories, the condition is called marasmus. Marasmus usually attacks infants and young children. It causes extreme loss in weight and weakness. Now let us look at mineral deficiency. The deficiency of calcium and phosphorus in diet results in rickets. Calcium is needed for hardening our bones and teeth. The main salt in the bones and teeth is calcium phosphate. Iron is constituent of blood. The deficiency of iron causes anemia, in which oxygen supply of blood decreases, that gives rise to fatigue and lack of energy. Iodine is important for thyroid gland. If we do not take enough iodine, the thyroid gland cannot produce thyroxine. As a result, the thyroid gland enlarges, causing the neck to swell. This is called goiter. Next we come to vitamin deficiency. Vitamins are needed only in small quantities in the daily diet, but they are essential for two reasons. Many of them are not synthesized in the human body, so we have to take them through diet. And many of the vitamins help enzymes to do their tasks, hence they regulate body activities. We have already discussed about vitamin deficiency in this chapter. Lack of vitamin A causes night blindness, in which a person is not able to see properly at night, while deficiency of vitamin B1 causes beriberi, in which a person feels lethargic and there is a loss of muscle function or paralysis of lower legs. Beriberi is also called thiamine deficiency. Deficiency of vitamin C causes scurvy, in which bleeding of gums and swelling of joints take place. Now, vitamins and minerals are protective nutrients. Let us now look at water deficiency. Water is very important for us. Daily we lose water in the form of sweat and urine. So, to maintain the balance, we should drink plenty of water daily. Severe loss of water causes dehydration. The body becomes weak, the blood gets thicker in dehydration, and therefore it moves more slowly in the body, causing severe pain and cramps in the muscles. The condition should be treated by oral rehydration solution or the ORS solution, or a solution of salt, sugar and water as soon as possible. In the summer, if a lot of water is lost from the body, then a person can become a victim of sunstroke. Hence, drinking water after a regular interval of time keeps us fit and healthy. But remember to not wait for being thirsty for drinking water, because when we feel thirsty, water deficiency has already taken place in the body. अब अच्छी हेल्थ मेंटेन के लिए बैलेंस डाइट चाहिए. बैलेंस डाइट के साथ साथ कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनका हमें ख्याल रखना पड़ता है, जैसे कि हम खाना प्रॉपर पोस्चर में बैठ के खाएं, खाने को अच्छे से चबाएं, क्योंकि जब हम मुंह में खाना चबाते हैं उससे भी डाइजेशन का प्रोसेस स्टार्ट होता है. उसके अलावा खाने को सही तरीके से पकाएं ताकि उसके अंदर के न्यूट्रिएंट्स वेस्ट ना हो जाएं. फिर खाना पकाने से पहले जितने भी फल सब्जी वगैरह हैं उनको ढंग से प्रॉपरली साफ करके कट करें. जो फ्रूट्स हैं उनको कभी भी छिलके समेत ना खाएं. ठीक है, उस जहाँ जहाँ ज़रूरत है वहाँ छिलका उतार दें और जहाँ नहीं ज़रूरत वहाँ छिलके समेत खाएं. दूसरी चीज़ ये कि खाने में जब भी हम बनाने से पहले उसको साफ़ करते हैं, जैसे कि चावल हो गए, दालें हो गए, उनको बहुत ज़्यादा धोने से भी जो उनके कुछ विटामिन या मिनरल्स हैं ना वो पानी से निकल सकते हैं, तो वो भी नहीं करना चाहिए. और सबसे ज़रूरी बात कि जो पानी पीते हैं ना वो खाना खाते टाइम ना पिएं, क्योंकि अगर हम खाते टाइम पानी पिएंगे तो जो अलग अलग जगह पे हमारी बॉडी में खाने के डाइजेस्टिव एंजाइम्स हैं वो डाइल्यूट हो जाएंगे, तब भी खाना प्रॉपरली डाइजेस्ट नहीं होगा. Now, how to maintain good health? We have studied the importance of balanced diet, but what is equally important is the right way of eating. Maintaining proper cleanliness while preparing, serving and eating food is also important. It is said that sitting with crossed legs is the best posture at the time of eating. Some precautions which should be taken for healthy living are: chew the food well. Food should be cooked in such a way that all the nutrients can be saved. Wash the vegetables and fruits first, then peel or cut them. Fruits which can be eaten whole should not be peeled off. Repeated washing of rice and pulses may remove some vitamins and minerals present in them. Avoid drinking water during the meals as it dilutes the effect of digestive enzymes. अब हमारी कंट्री में या वर्ल्ड ओवर अगर देखा जाए तो हर कोई सब तरह का खाना या चीज़ें अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते. इसके लिए हमारी कंट्री में जो एक बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है वो है मिड डे मील की स्कीम. इससे क्या है कि हमारी गवर्नमेंट या हमारा जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट है वो इस चीज़ को इंश्योर कर रहा है कि जो बच्चों की ग्रोइंग एज है एटलीस्ट उस एज में स्कूल जाते बच्चों को प्रॉपर बैलेंस्ड खाना एक टाइम का ज़रूर मिले. नाउ लेट अस नो अबाउट मिड डे मील्स. Many children in our country do not get a balanced diet. It may be due to ignorance or poverty. The Supreme Court of India has passed a rule according to which every child who goes to a primary school is entitled to get nutritious cooked midday meal. A healthy midday meal can help protect children from hunger and provide essential nutrients. These meals provide children with at least the minimum requirement of carbohydrates and proteins each day. All efforts are made to make the meals as varied and wholesome as possible. So the key takeaways from this chapter are: there are 6 essential nutrients that are needed by our body. The main carbohydrates found in our body are in the form of starch and sugar. Fats are the sources of more energy. Too much of fat deposition is harmful to the body and causes obesity. Proteins are important for the growth and development of the body. Minerals are essential for building organs and good health. For proper growth and maintaining good health, all types of vitamins are required by our body. A balanced diet provides necessary nutrients in adequate amount. The diseases that are caused by the deficiency of essential nutrients are called deficiency diseases. So I hope the chapter is clear to all and questions related to this topic can now be answered easily.